check. All right, bet. What it do? It's your boy Phase by Jew. And I got my guy Niven.
Oh, what up, what up? It's your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Introduce you.
What it do, bro?
Hey, man, just out here living the dream, man. You know, we spreading that positivity.
Niven is a very, very special client of mine. Honorary logo by Face by Jew, if you will.
Sure.
This man gets noticed in the city all the time. I get clients always sit down in the chair and they're just like, "Hey man, I saw your man's," and I already know they're talking about Niven. We got a TikTok that went viral.
Right.
Yeah, man, this is my dog, man. This is Niven, man.
Hey, man, one time, man. Hey, give it up for yourself as well. Give it up for yourself, man. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't be here without you, man, for real. I guess I'll start y'all off. I'll tell y'all a little bit about myself. I'm a producer based out of Southwest Oklahoma City. I go by the name of Thanks Niven. You can also call me Young Trap Quaye. I also go by the name of Tuxedo Star if you're on that R&B wave. I run a label called Ominous Southwest Productions. If you need those fire beats, you don't want your producer dancing all up in your videos, you need those fire directed videos, we still got you on that way. But I mean, we've been doing this right now for this is 5 going on 6 years now. 5 going on 6 years. And
Absolutely.
It's been a good run.
Amen. Amen. You've been holding it down for a long time, Niven. You've been holding it down, bro.
I appreciate it, for real. I've just been trying to build sounds and just reach out to the people, you know what I mean? If I can make some type of progress doing that, then I feel like I did what I'm here for.
So we were talking about creativity. That was the main thing that I wanted to talk about because I think that you are one of the most creative people that I get to interact with, one of the most creative people that I have met. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
So I am curious as to what sparks your creativity, or not what sparks your creativity, what makes you creative? What makes you create?
Secret tip. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know yourself first and foremost. That's what makes me create. Like, knowing what I want to make even before I know that I want to make it, because I know that I got a greater purpose out there. So if there's different ways to categorize it or shit like that, like you've got different colors that you may see, and you've got to think, what do I associate with these next things? So creativity comes a lot through association. If you enjoy the brightness of something, or you enjoy the darkness of something, or it makes you feel a different way, then you next have to create something in honor of that. Creativity definitely comes from a lot of different points in the mind. Like when I was younger, I used to draw a lot. So that was where I would take my initial feeling. From the time that I picked up the pencil and put it to the paper and finished and got you a figure and everything like that, that was what would allow me to express my creativeness. But throughout time, that wasn't enough, so I had to do a little bit more, and that's where I began to fall in love with the sonics. So as I worked more on making different beats, putting together the different patterns, organizing different things, you know, I work in FL Studio. It's not even made to make music. What it's made for is to make organization easier for those who are not classically trained. Remove the limitations. That is what creativity is. The ability to say, nah, you can't stop me from doing this. I am the one who makes things go.
Hey,
that's just as honest as you can put it. And I mean, sometimes it may sound braggadocious. Other times it may feel like it's going to put you in an awkward spot. But creativity is a limitless thing. You can't have limits upon your creativity unless they're self-imposed for that purpose of what you're making.
right.
And even then, they fall within your rules. You can change them. You can adapt them. You can rewrite them. There's reversals. There's everything within it.
So are you the rules are made to be broken type of guy?
In some cases, yes. But in most cases, I kind of like to look at it one at a time. I try not to apply all rules should be broken, because there's a reason why it was put there in place. But I do look at situational aspects of it. Do we need to follow this rule at this point in time based on the setting that we got going on? Like, what is going to cause me to break this rule? Is it a good enough reason? Yeah. How good am I going for what I'm about to do?
No, that's lit. That's a really sound advice. Is me breaking this rule is it going to be worth it?
Is it worth it? Yeah, is it worth it? Like Missy said, is it worth it, truly? If it's not going to hit like a Timberland beat, like, is it worth it? Are you really going to go cross that line for whatever that situation may be? I like to apply a lot of different things. Like, if I can look at it from the music standpoint and apply it to me in a corporate setting or me into a restaurant setting, and it still works, then it's likely something that's true to life. Just test the theory. Test the theory.
We both like to watch anime, and when we're thinking about the creative process, I can't help but think about Food Wars.
Hey.
And Soma and his dad, they're trying to be the best that they possibly can be. However, if you actually watch Food Wars, you know that Soma and his dad are competing to create the worst possible dish ever. So part of that creative process, the fuck it up theory. Do you ever do that? I know that you make beats, you do soundscapes,
Absolutely.
but do you ever purposely try to make something that is fucked up, or you fucked it up, or it just don't sound right purposely?
Yes. All the time. All the time. If you're not trying to make something new, experimental, that's like scratchy, doesn't sound good. Man, not that it doesn't sound good in a sense that it's something that it's negative, but it doesn't need to sound crystal clear like it just took a bath. Like, things need to be dirtied up. Things need to be roughed up. Things need to be authentic. Things need to feel like they've been banged up down the side of the road before they're presented. Yeah. That's what gives them that endurance. That's what gives them their qualities. That's what gives them life. Like, if you're not putting texture behind the things that you're presenting, you're not necessarily giving forth the fullest product that you could. It comes back again to the base word of production. Within production, you're looking to make something that's new. You can make something that's new, but if it's formless and it's true, then it's going to endure over time. If you make something that's going to be rigid and it's only stuck in this one way and it's very poppy, but it's categorized by certain figures, and those certain figures don't have certain textures to them, it's not going to be enough. You have to experiment. You have to go out there and find those weird sounds and those different things that make you unique. One of the greatest inspirations is Dragon Ball Z as a kid. I would love hearing the sound effects, bro. I love hearing the sound effects. Nothing is better than Vegeta just getting you with the ready, just ha. You feel me? Like, I love those lines. And at the same point in time, too, just like really taking together the different aspects of what did those moments mean to them as a character. And so just by doing that, that's me putting myself in their mind. Mm-hmm. So you got to give yourself something that's weird, something that's edgy, something that's going to be different than what others may initially think of as perfection. Because perfection has no limits.
I was going to say, what is your relationship with perfection? Do you believe that you can achieve it in this three-dimensional construct? Do you think that you can, do you believe that you can achieve perfection?
Yeah, you gotta at least try. And I think that I have met it based on certain conditions. So let's say if perfection only exists conditionally, then yes, there's perfection to an extent. Like, once I've made a really good beat, I can make 1,000 really good beats because I made that one really good beat. I can tell you back to that moment in time when I made that first good beat. I could tell you what I made yesterday. They rock, same levels of energy. Because I know that I can always get that done. Once you make your first R&B record, you can make 1,000 R&B records. I'll tell you about the first R&B record I did. I'll tell you about the one that I did yesterday. They both rock the same. Like, that energy, once it's captured, or that feeling of perfection, yes, it existed at that point in time. But now that it's been reached, the conditions have been qualified, you have to kind of look for something new to that next step in order to continue to know what perfection is. Other than that, it's a constantly moving goalpost. It's a constantly moving definition. It's not something that is concrete, even though the results may be.
Bro, you cooking.
I'm just cooking it up. You know what I mean? I love to cook. I love to apply it. I love to cook it.
Sticking with perfection. Obviously, it seems like everybody has their own idea of perfection. So tell everybody what your idea of perfection is for you when you're in your creative process.
Woo! Woo! All right. If it's gotta be perfection, then it has to be a complete thought. Let's say if I'm talking about just strictly beat making, I need it to be something that has a title. It's got to have the right feeling, the right emotion to it that goes with that title. If I haven't already started like hearing a verse in my head over that beat whenever I've made it, then I haven't got anywhere close to this feeling of perfection that we're trying to achieve. But the next step that I've got to go is I've got to add on to it something that is going to take it beyond anything that anybody else can do.
Yes.
What makes it my own? Without me trying to make it unique, but what truly makes it my own? It's similar to a signature. How do I write my name on this? That's how I achieve perfection. If I'm able to put my name on it, stand by it, and know that it's something that I would deem to say, this is dope, this is lit, these sonics that go with these sounds are what we're looking for, then I know that I've achieved perfection.
Okay. I'm rocking with that. Okay.
For sure.
Where do you pull motivation when you don't have it?
Ooh, that's another tough one. You ever turn on the light switch? You just walk in that room and you flip that light switch.
Yeah.
So if you had to visualize that, I know not everybody may be the strongest of visualizers, but you've got to walk in that room and you got to turn on that light switch because ain't nobody else going to motivate you but you. That's the only thing to do whenever you're feeling unmotivated. You walk in that room and you turn on that light switch. But now this light switch that we're speaking of isn't necessarily a light switch that you may just be able to go and physically grab. It might be calling your mom. It might be calling up your cousin saying, hey, yo, fam, I got this idea. This is what I'm going through right now. They may have a different, unique perspective that brings you back to another point to where you feel like, all right, cool, I can understand this. I can move on to the next point. Thank you for your opinion. Sometimes for me, it's just kicking it with my best friend. We sit down, we'll talk about Dragon Ball Z in all kinds of crazy different ways. I can tell him that as the Prince of All Saiyans, I'm finna come through and run shit for the next year and a half. He's gonna agree with me. He's gonna understand exactly where I'm at in that mindset.
Yeah.
I may have another concept that I need to explain to him that I can't put in Dragon Ball Z terms. So I gotta explain it with Yu Yu Hakusho, or I gotta use a different anime. I've gotta look out for a different example. But continue trying is the only way to find that motivation within yourself. You got to find that light switch and you've got to continue trying.
I love it, Niven. I love it, man. I do have another question. It might be a little tough. Do you feel that pain and trauma helps or hinders the creative process?
I think that it both helps and hinders the creative process. Depending on what you're working on at that point in time, it may become difficult to complete something based on the emotional attachment that's put to it. Yeah. It's difficult to work with death. It's easy to work with happiness. Mm-hmm. When you're working with death, I mean, a lot of times you're trying to remember the positives. You're trying to remember the things that really matter, but there's nothing that you can do about it at that point. So it becomes a stagnant feeling. So if you don't associate merely the most positive things with it, you have to be careful with how you're including emotion. If you're looking towards negative emotions as towards, I'm trying to create something, don't allow that to overcome you. That's something that I definitely work on. I try not to dwell too much in the darkness. Mm-hmm. Most people I see, I'm trying to give them that fist bump of positivity, whether it be through the sound or whether like it's with my actual fist. You know what I mean? Like truly spread the positivity. So whenever it comes back to that emotional inclusion within your sound, you want to make sure, is this what I'm truly representing? Does this feel too angry? And I mean, sometimes it's good to express anger, but everything must find that balance. So you've got to realize where you're at with your different emotional checks. It's not good to dwell too much in one space. Hey, man, I just tell it like it is, man. I'm not a therapist, but I am your excellent producer, and I'm here to produce for you.
Since you're an excellent producer, and you are, what sounds excite you the most?
Man, what sounds excite me the most? So if I had to give you my top 3, let's prioritize right quick. Yeah. Top sounds that excite me the most. I love beeps more than anything. Beeps are like the greatest thing that you could ever think of because they're expansive. They're always there. Think about whenever you leave your car door open, you've got a nice little beep. Think about whenever you've left your lights on, you've got another little beep. Think about the ringing of a doorbell. Some people don't even have doorbells anymore. They got beeps. I work with all kinds of different sounds, and being around different beeps and everything like that, that becomes the number one spot. If I had to tell you number 2, it's got to be pads. You've got to find something that's soft. A nice soft pad, and if people don't know what I'm talking about synth pads. I'm talking about whatever kind of pads that you use to create that texture. Those are the number 2 thing that I love. Number 3, I love the human voice. The human voice is my favorite thing. I think that there's so much that can be done with the human voice that it becomes its own instrument in its way. And those have got to be my top 3.
I think those are 3 excellent sounds. I would also agree. I like beats. I like pads, especially synth, like a good synth pad.
Man.
And going on the Kanye tip, the human voice, there's really nothing better than the human voice.
You can't beat the human voice.
I mean, we talking about Beyonce.
Yeah.
We talking about Kid Cudi.
You talking about Sade.
Yeah. Travis.
Yeah. There's levels to it.
Even Don Toliver.
Man.
The vocals.
The Weeknd. Man. Come back to moments with MJ himself. That's one of my favorite vocalists. MJ, as a kid, taught me that vocals were one of the most important thing that you could ever just like listen to from another person. Because it didn't matter that I was watching a movie about Michael Jackson that didn't have Michael Jackson singing, that didn't allow me to learn the fact that he was a great artist and a great singer. Like, even though we were watching, what's his name? Jason Weaver, the dude from The Lion King. Mm-hmm. Like, bro was in there hitting the spin moves, and I'm going to Kansas City. Kansas City, can't welcome. Bop, bop. That was my jam. Yeah. I used to hit the spin moves to that joint. And it wasn't a Michael Jackson song. But it did teach me, like, all right, cool. If the human voice can make you feel that way, like, that's something that you got to hold on to. That's something that you got to move with. Another part that I love the expression of like sighs or deep breaths. I'm not going to do any of those for you because it's just going to put you into that sad state. But like, if you're talking about how to bring that emotion back into it, the human voice has it.
Drake,
man,
he's the biggest sigher.
Oh whoa,
he especially, and then he just freestyles for 5 minutes.
Let's look, look. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it's really an understanding whenever it comes to the human voice. But I mean, one of my favorite instruments whenever it comes back to it.
Let's switch it real quick. I appreciate you for your perspective on the creative process.
Okay, thank you.
We've been talking about anime.
Hey, man.
So we might as well just go straight into that.
Bring me.
I don't even want to say give me your top 5 anime. I don't even want to do that. But let's do this. What are the top 5 anime that Niven will suggest for somebody else to watch?
Woo! All right. I got it. Top 5 for somebody else to watch. Right now, you gotta watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
Hold on. Say it again. Say top 5 anime that somebody else should watch. I want to clip this.
Top 5 anime that someone else should watch. Top 5. Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and Bleach.
All I know is this man just provided y'all with some heat.
If you don't know the classics, that's all I'm saying. What are you doing? If you don't know the classics, what are you doing? You got to do your research. Like Uncle said, you got to do your research.
And Yu Yu Hakusho is important because without Yu Yu Hakusho, you don't have Hunter x Hunter, correct?
That is correct. Also, little known fact, that dude is also married to the chick who wrote Sailor Moon. So it's just greatness all up in that household. Dealing with, bro.
Yo, that's lit. Jujutsu Kaisen, absolutely, because this second season is going stupid right now.
Straight up, that's all I'm saying. My boy Toji coming through, no spoilers.
Man. Then you said Bleach. Bleach is a classic.
Been here for years. Now we're dealing with this newest season, you know what I'm saying? So for the people that got a little bit of time to catch up, you can deal with things before Bach gets back. But it's all good. It's plenty episodes.
Would you agree that anime is something that you could talk about for hours?
At least 2, bro. At least 2 hours a piece every day. Give me a discussion. You start me off at the top, I'll tell you about how protagonism should go. I'll tell you about story writing. Like, if you're asking about it, anime has it. The concept of techniques, the concept of concepts. It's a self-defining thing that is ever evolving. Like anime is probably like one of the closest things that's comparable to hip hop, and it's within hip hop.
Shout out Samurai Champloo.
Man, shout out Samurai Champloo. That was one of the first joints that put me on. Shout out to my cousin Alvin Allure. He put me on game too. Man, that intro used to take me back. But furthermore than that, a lot of us love the Boondocks, and we wouldn't have shows like those without anime to directly influence them. I am the stone that the builder refused. You know the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how those things came to be. It's all about finding that connectivity between the two different things and realizing, all right, cool, makes these things go together? What is the real reason that I'm listening to it? Why do I like this? All right, cool. It has similar qualities to something else. All right, cool. Let me continue developing that.
Give me your top 5 visually stunning anime.
Ooh, top 5 visually stunning anime. All right, number 1, first and foremost, I start at the top always. Akira, because you're not topping that. You're not topping 1,000+ frames per second, just period. And the storytelling is deep. When my boy came through with the laser, when my boy came through with the red cycle, shit was changing. There's different times. Monumental, okay? Not very many moments like that experience right there. So Akira, number 1. Number 2 has got to be for me, Spirited Away. That really changed up how I looked at a lot of different anime, because I was like, man, ain't nobody even trying to fight in this really. We just trying to make our way back.
Yeah.
And at the same point in time, like, you see these colors? You see the way the grass is flowing?
Yeah.
Come on.
Studio Ghibli,
Man.
definitely doing their thing.
Always going hard. Okay. Always going hard.
That's 2.
So number 3 has got to be Gurren Lagann. Okay. If you haven't seen Gurren Lagann, you are doing yourself a disservice. All I'm saying is that it's one of the most motivational, visually attractive, color popping, eye candy moment having animes of all time. Every single episode was like watching the finale of an anime in itself. Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Please let this sink in.
Let that sink in. Okay, it's drained.
That's 3.
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann. All right.
Number 3. Now, if I have to give you number 4, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer with it, and I'm gonna tell you about Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes, sir.
The reason that Full Metal Alchemist hits like that is because it shows you a lot of what we talked about before, the human element. The different examples of humans. Ain't nobody flying, ain't nobody doing anything out of character.
Right.
But it does show you those highlighted moments of human elements. So I definitely would have to stick in Full Metal Alchemist right there.
Now, is that 4 or is that 5? You said you was going to come back to 4.
That was number 4 right there.
4. Right.
Now, number 5, if I've got to bring to you number 5, is only because it changed the landscape of how things are going right now. Mm-hmm. Like, if you go watch a new animated movie or something like that, this is a direct influence of it. My Hero Academia. Mm-hmm. Everybody going plus ultra.
Everybody.
They can't outdo it because it's already outdoing itself. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I fuck with that.
Me and All Might go way back. Way back.
All right, I have to give you my 5 too.
Man, let me hear it.
I got to give you my 5. Visually stunning anime. My 5, I'm probably, well, number 1, I'm going Demon Slayer.
Woo!
Just because I tell people don't watch Demon Slayer because it's gonna mess up how you view classic anime. Like, I have a client, he was like, "What should I watch?" I was like, "Hunter x Hunter." You know, I try to give him easy ones. One Punch Man. And then I was like, well, I do like Demon Slayer. He's like, I heard a lot about Demon Slayer. I was like, don't watch it. Not yet. He watched it. He wouldn't watch Hunter x Hunter. He wouldn't watch Death Note. He's like, I can't get into it.
Spoiled.
It's
a wrap.
Demon Slayer will spoil you.
Right? Man, what you see Tojiro come through with those water waves, man, it's real. It's real.
So, Demon Slayer, number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Ooh. Because there's really not too many anime animated like that. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
Number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go with My Hero as well.
All right.
I'm trying to think of this.
Number 5 is tough, bro.
It's new.
Hell's
Paradise.
Okay, all right. Talk to me, Lord. Tell me
Paradise
about it.
Is the shit. Okay. If you like Jujutsu Kaisen, if you like God of High School, but if you like gory stuff, like if you like all the blood and stuff.
Is it kind of like Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
If you like gory stuff, you'll love Hell's Paradise.
Let's go.
The main character, Gabumaru, he's OP. It's just gruesome.
Okay.
It's just gruesome, but the animation of the gruesomeness is top tier.
Top tier. Now, drum roll please. We're here for the final piece. If I gotta say what that number one storyline is of all time, can we say of all time?
Of all time.
All time. If we're talking about number one of all time.
All time.
Storyline. All time.
Take your time. Take your time.
Do I put Naruto up there at number one?
Ooh.
Is it the best storyline of all time?
Ooh.
Is that what he's saying? I think it is.
Yeah.
Because when we're talking about just different situational aspects that can be related, again, one-to-one to life, like you're a human, you're a ninja, you got to deal with things this way, but the power of bonds is still the number one thing that holds us down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got to give it up to Naruto.
Okay.
Naruto,
Okay.
number one storyline. Number one.
I will give you my number one because I know that a lot of people's number one is going to be One Piece. And One Piece is good, but I'm not on One Piece right now.
Slow it down. I just dissed you.
It's all good. But my number one, it's got to be Attack on Titan.
Woo!
It's got to be Attack on Titan, man.
Shingeki no Kyojin.
Yes, sir.
The man said it himself.
It's got to be. Eren, Mikasa, Armin. The way that they build it up from them being children.
Yeah.
First episode, Eren mama head getting ripped off. Ugh. Ooh. First episode. The anger inside of him. Boom, he's a Titan too. Ah. The split. You want to be mad. I don't want to be a Titan.
I don't want to be a Titan.
Then you realize we ain't never left this island.
Damn. Facts.
I'm going to just leave it right there. Because there's some people that ain't never seen Attack on Titan.
No spoilers. Closing it out strong.
Man, before we get up out of here, because I got to finish your lineup, and then I got to show you off to the people. Before we get out of here, leave the people with something good, man. Good food, good advice, good movie, a good book, good music. Something good.
All right. I'm going to hit y'all with one of my most recent reads. It's called Is This Anything by Jerry Seinfeld. And so what it does is it kind of details his start as a comedian from 1970s all the way up until the modern day experience. And in short form, it tells you how to continue building new material, how to continue rolling with the punches. And like I said, I'm not a comedian, I'm a producer, but it still applies. So if you can find things that are out there, then I would say apply them. Copy that? That is what your instruction is. You go out there and you apply for things, and you apply things that you know to other things that you know. And that's how you're going to make it forward as you go.
I just gave you a funk flex bomb, man. That's it right there.
That's it right there.
That's it right there, man.
That's it right there.
It's Phased by Jew.
I go by the name of Thanks Niven.
Go ahead and give everybody your ad name.
Hey, man, you can find me on the gram at Thanks Niven. You can find me on X or Twitter or whatever Elon is going to call it at QUAYEX2. You can also hit our website, www.withinxwithout.com. Holla at us if you need merch. Holla at us if you need beats. Holla at us if you need writing. Holla at us if you need vocals. Holla at us basically if you need that curation. That's what we're here for.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, for the people.
Like I said, it's your boy Phased by Jew. And we out, man. Appreciate you, Niven. Much love as always, bro.
Bless up, man. Bless up.
you.